This is Maria La Tosca Jimenez. La Tosca, as she was known, or the Tough One, confessed in the spring of 2012 of ending the lives of 20 people and is suspected of far more. Her arrest in 2012 came with the arrests of her entire crew after over 50,000 drug-related killings in Mexico between 2006 and 2012. She and her crew were associated with brutally displayed victims. Prior to the arrest of her and her lieutenants and foot soldiers, more than 20 bodies were found hanging under overpasses in and around Monterrey. An additional 4 were found nearby, missing their heads. Close around that time, a cooler filled with 14 heads was placed right outside Monterrey City Hall. I'm sure we're all glad that the Tough One is finally behind bars. This is Maria Licciardi, the leader of the Camorra crime family nicknamed La Madrina, or the Godmother by her underlings. Maria Licciardi was one of the most powerful bosses in Naples from 1993 until 2001. She became the leader of the Licciardi clan after the arrest of her 2 brothers, and she quickly rose to prominence within the Camorra crime family. Both for her good reputation, she was also called La Principessa, or the Princess by Camorra women, and for her expansion of the criminal family enterprise. She brought this expansion by exploiting others and breaking with her organization's code. She began by purchasing human beings, sometimes underage and always coerced, from an Albanian trafficker for the low sum of $2,000. She would frequently get them addicted to narcotics and force them into prostitution, which was strictly against the Camorra code. She was also involved in the trafficking of drugs like heroin and was connected to an incredibly deadly gang war in Italy. All of these conditions brewed together to make her incredibly wealthy and powerful in Naples. She dodged justice for years, going in and out of prison, and on the run until her final arrest in August of 2021. Despite her ruthless actions, Licciardi painted herself as innocent and ignorant in the media, using her advanced age and small stature to her favor. She adopted the nickname The Little One, an adopted form of the nickname she was given as a young woman in the criminal underworld, The Little Girl. In 2023, she was sentenced to 13 years in prison. The mob boss, once known as The Little Girl, will not be released until 2036, when she will be 85 years old. A small price to pay for the pain she's caused. This is Melissa Lachina Calderon. Ever been spurned by an ex? Melissa Calderon understands. She is described as completely maniacal by her terrified ex-boyfriend. This ex-boyfriend also happened to be the cartel boss's second-in-command, 30-year-old assassin Pedro El Chino Gomez. To be fair, he's right. Lachina Calderon is accused of drug trafficking and over 180 brutal and senseless murders. Melissa Lachina Calderon was born in Margarita Calderon, Ojeda on August 12, 1984, somewhere in Mexico. In 2005, at the age of 21, Calderon became involved in the seedy underworld of the drug trade. After rising through the ranks of the Sinaloa drug cartel and gaining a reputation for eager brutality, Calderon kicked off a violent war in Mexico City, sending murder rates in Baja California Sur soaring by founding her own cartel, the Damasco Cartel. The violence lasted until 2017, when she was arrested at the airport in Cabo San Lucas. Melissa Calderon now resides in Federal Social Readaptation Center No. 1, a maximum security prison. The prison was famously depicted in the 2017 Netflix series El Chapo, as it is where the famed cartel leader once tunneled to freedom. Here's to hoping nobody gives Melissa Calderon a shovel. This is Judy Moran. Judy Moran was born Judith Marianne Brooks on December 18, 1944, in Victoria, Australia. She would grow up to become the head of the Moran crime family and involved in the Melbourne gang killings. In 2009, Moran was finally arrested, having shot her brother-in-law, Des Tuppis Moran, in a suburb of Melbourne the day before. She was sentenced in 2011 to 26 years in prison, with the chance of parole after 21 years. At the earliest, she will get out at the age of 88. But if she serves her full sentence, Judy Moran will not be released until 2037, when she is 93 years old. This is Sandra Avila Beltran, La Reina del Pacifico, or the Queen of the Pacific, as she was known. Sandra Avila Beltran was born on October 16, 1960, in Baja California, Mexico, and was believed to be an important link between the Sinaloa and Colombian cartels. She was born into Guadalajara cartel royalty and spent much of the 1980s and 90s involved in the trafficking of illegal narcotics all over Mexico and South America. Beltran lived a flashy and highly public lifestyle, yet she evaded the capture by police until a long-embedded sting was able to bring her up on charges in September of 2007. She was passed between the custody of the United States and Mexico for several years, racking up charges like conspiracy to traffic drugs, possession of illegal weapons, money laundering, and running a criminal organization. After a total of 7 years in prison, she was released in 2015, after which she moved to Guadalajara. In 2022, she filed a lawsuit against Netflix. She alleges that their series Queen of the South is based on her life and has demanded an incredible 40% of the royalties. This is Griselda Blanco, born on Valentine's Day of 1943 and a major figure in the cocaine trade from Colombia to Miami, California, and New York in the 1970s. She was born in Colombia, Griselda Blanco Restrepo, and before she turned 13, she had already started down the path to her life of crime. She pickpocketed before graduating to looting. She moved to the United States in the 1970s, and there she set up a large and competitive drug distribution network. She evaded capture from the authorities for decades by illegally migrating back and forth between Colombia and the United States, switching states each time to use the lack of communication between jurisdictions at the time to her advantage. In 1985, the Drug Enforcement Agency in the U.S. arrested the drug kingpin known as the Black Widow in her home in Florida. They charged her with a trio of counts of the importation and distribution of a Schedule I narcotic. This earned her 15 years in prison. Her trouble didn't stop there, though, as once convicted, she was charged again, this time with 3 counts of first-degree murder. After a scandal involving the state's star witness, Griselda Blanco was convicted of 2 counts of second-degree murder and given 3 concurrent 20-year sentences after a guilty plea in 1998. In 2002, she survived a heart attack in prison, and she went on to be released in 2004 at the age of 61. The cocaine queen shed the title of the Black Widow upon her release and reportedly lived a quiet life in Colombia. Sightings of her were rare, and she surfaced only once between 2004 and 2012, when she was sighted in 2007 in an airport in Bogota. According to her son, she became a born-again Christian. That said, many still wondered about her connections to organized crime after her release. Whatever the case was, be it random or cartel-related, Blanco was shot twice on her way back from the market in 2012. She was 69. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.